What's going on, guys? Tokusatsu here, and this week we've got more news for you coming from Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Sentai, Ultraman, and also just like a little bit of action news at the end as well. Now, most of this is coming from Power Rangers this week, and that's kind of a pattern I'm starting to notice now, but whatever. And there's only one bit of Kamen Rider news this week, 2 for Sentai, 2 Ultraman, and then 2 extra pieces at the end. So starting off, we have our official reveal of the Wave 8 Lightning Collection figures, and they are Zeo Green, SPD Pink, a re-release of Lost Galaxy Red, and then also Dino Thunder Blue. So first impressions, it's pretty much what you would expect from your average Lightning Collection release, because they have mostly proper paint apps. They come with their weapons, because we see Zeo Green here has his axes, and we know that Zeo Blue for some weird reason didn't come with his tonfas. But here's accounted for, so hopefully they can correct that with future releases. And then with Lost Galaxy Red here, he actually comes with an extra accessory that he didn't come with in the 2-pack with Cycle Red. And it looks like his Quasar Cannon, I believe it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that's the name for it. And then there's a collapsed version of his Quasar Saber, which did come with that 2-pack. And I'm not quite sure if it comes with the extended version, though. I mean, he's kind of not complete without it, so that'd be a big mistake if he's missing it. And then here we have Dino Thunder Blue with his sword weapon. I forgot what that was called. And also his Triceras shield. So it's good that we have that as well. And then coming over to SPD Pink now. I forgot if this was called her Delta Blaster or whatnot. But it's her sidearm from the show. And she also has an effects piece as well. Now, on another hand, if we're just judging by these civilian heads, I've got to say, these are some of, the best looking civilian heads in a single wave by far, because they've nailed Johnny Young Bosch's look with Zeo Green, perfectly, almost. And then Ethan looks like himself. And now, it's a different head sculpt for Lost Galaxy Red here than the first time. I mean, it looks slightly off, I think his cheekbones are protruding a little bit more. But it still pretty much looks like Leo. And then SPD Pink, I mean, she looks good too, but just something about her looks just a little bit off. I've seen some posts on Facebook comparing her to Stifler's mom from American Pie, so that was pretty funny. But this is still totally acceptable, because there's no creepy smile. I mean, she's smiling a little bit, but it's nothing too wide or scary like Kimberly. Now, if I can make a quick note about her helmet, though, I've noticed, and some other people have pointed this out too, but I've noticed that her helmet's missing that white trim around the inside of it. Now, it's not as insulting as, say, Dino Thunder White, to where it's a glaring mistake, but it's more so because, Red and Omega, I don't have Blue yet, but Red and Omega have their proper paint apps on their helmets, and the helmet's the one thing you really shouldn't skip out on paint-wise, because that's the most important part of the suit. So moving over to ToyWizards.com, we have news for these MMPR figures from this company called 30, and they've partnered with Hasbro for this new line of Power Rangers action figures. And it reads, 30 is a well-known toy company out of Hong Kong. They've already been working with Hasbro for some time now with the Transformers license. Did not know that. Recently, we have seen them announce both Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow for G.I. Joe. From that license, it gives us a good look at what we will be getting with this new Power Rangers line. Think hot toys like articulation and style. We should be able to order these figures with Hasbro Pulse and other online retailers once they do a full announcement. Fig Zero is a new line of 1/6 scale 12-inch action figures. Each figure has realistic full cloth outfits and highly detailed accessories. They are very articulated, and attention to details is an earmark of the company. Looking at the promotional image by 30, we will get the first 5 members of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Each will have both their blade blasters and power weapons. At this point, no idea if we will get swappable heads. There is no Green Ranger right out of the gate, but I can't see them going to this much trouble without seeing Tommy far behind. And that's pretty much it here. So this is a nice little release for anyone that wants to buy these, but personally, I don't think I'm going to go for these because the price we're looking at, it says retail $129.99 to $149 each. So yeah, I'll just stick to Lightning Collection. Thank you. So next up, we have an article from ukiyc.weebly.com for Power Rangers Battle for the Grid Scorpina DLC trailer revealed. Now, Scorpina is a character that I kind of forgot that wasn't in the game, but I'm glad to have her here nonetheless, though. Because here she looks straight out of a Mortal Kombat game, if I'm being honest. I mean, she still looks like Scorpina now, but she looks like she's from a totally different game. So the trailer here really just like gives us a rundown and like quick look at some of her movesets. Like she has one called the Surface Breaker, which I've never heard of before, by the way. But I'm probably guessing that she didn't have much to work with from the show in the first place, so they probably had to give her what they really could here. But Scorpina is part of the Season 3 pass, along with RJ from Jungle Fury as the Wolf Ranger and also Lauren Shiba as the Red Samurai Ranger. So if you've been itching for new content from Battle for the Grid, well, here you go. Okay, so now we have some Dino Fury toy news now, and we've already kind of seen a preview of this stuff from the Hasbro Post Fan First Friday event. But now we have an exclusive look at Dino Fury Pink's figure from the main line, and it looks like she just comes with her Ryusoul key. Like, I'm just going to call it that until I learn the proper name for it from the show. And then also this exclusive weapon that I'm not quite familiar with, and it doesn't look like she comes with her sword. And that's going to be a huge problem because in the stock footage, they're almost never seen without their swords because they're knights. I mean, that's what they fight with. That's their primary weapon. And to exclude that from the toy would just be a huge disservice and mistake. So I'm hoping that's not the case. And with this next bit of news, hopefully like that can kind of like answer some questions and quell some fears that some of us might have about that. So there's this Hasbro event going on over in China, I believe, called Toy Star, and they have a booth specifically for Power Rangers Dino Fury. Now, so far, the only things they've showcased are the previous MMPR Lightning Collection releases, and it's just the Rangers with their helmets off and then the villains behind them. And then all of the Dino Fury stuff seems to be covered, and I believe that's going to be revealed on Saturday, December 12th, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully by then, like we'll see like the full range of accessories that the figures come with, and hopefully those swords are there. Like otherwise, like they're already messing up. And it'd be a real shame too, because last year when they released the figures for Beast Morphers, like those were perfect for being like a main kids line, because like we had painted weapons, painted morphers, accessories. It came with the gimmick item with the keys. So judging by that, like that tells me hopefully that they wouldn't mess up that bad. So moving on to Kamen Rider, we have character posters for the 01 real-time movie. So it's a series of 4 posters that showcases the riders that are going to be featured in the film. So the first one has 01 and 02. Second one is Vulcan and Valkyrie and Thouser. Third one is Jin and Hirobi. And fourth one is Kamen Rider Eden, who I believe we saw in the last episode of 01. Forgive me if I'm wrong, because it's been a couple of months since I've watched it, but there he is right there. So this movie is going to play in conjunction with Saber's winter movie, because I believe this was supposed to come out during the summer, but that got pushed back due to obvious reasons, and plus 01 lost 5 episodes. So that's kind of making up for lost time there. So it comes out on the 18th, but that doesn't matter much to us, obviously, because we're not going to see it until months down the line. So getting into Sentai, we're going to start off with a bit of sad news here, as this is coming from the Tokusatsu network, and this is Ryusoulger's Kinjo Mana passes away at 24. And it reads, her agency announced her passing due to an unspecified illness on December 5th via her official Twitter and blog. The post mentions the actress taking time off last year to recover while she was working hard to maintain her career, and thanked all her fans for supporting her during this time. So like that's really tragic to pass away at such a young age though, because her career was just up and coming. So like we can only imagine like what she could have accomplished. So it looks like we can rule out COVID related, because it does say that it's unspecified, so we really don't know. And plus she fell ill while the show was still filming. So rest in peace, Kinjo. My condolences goes out to your family and friends. So going into some better news, we have some info leaks, I guess you could call it, for Zen Kaiser. And the first one we have was this poster for the Kira Major summer movie. Well, it was like 01, it was supposed to be out during the summer, but that got pushed back again. And then oddly enough, it's going to play in conjunction with a new Ryusoulger movie. Now, this isn't a versus from what I've seen, so that's weird that Ryusoulger is still doing movies. And then And then the Kira Major movie is going to showcase the new Sentai team, Zenkaiger. And right here we have a silhouette of what looks like their leader. Like, so from these info leaks, I'm not even sure if he's going to be a Red Ranger. But in the silhouette, though, he looks almost like a Kamen Rider. Because you see he has those antennas sticking out of his head. And then looking down, he looks like he has a collar. Well, I mean, that is a collar. Now, what I have here are a list of rumors that have been confirmed by the producers for their designs, mech designs, and so forth. So, it reads that Shirakura is, in fact, the executive producer. Pink's the only girl. And then here's the really interesting one. The lead ranger is Zen Kaiser. He's described as a mix of Dragon Ranger's shield, Aka Ranger's appearance, and Big One's coloration. So that's kind of why I said I wasn't sure if he was going to be a Red Ranger or not, because for those of you that have seen Jacka, you would know that Big One is basically a white ranger with a rainbow motif on his helmet and his collar. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping that's the case, because I've kind of dreamed recently of having a Sentai team without a Red Ranger, because I think Sentai right now could use a little bit of a shakeup. I mean, I like Hero Major, like the story is good, but it kind of follows like the same theme of, you know, having 5 Rangers from the start, primary colors, 6 Ranger joins in later on. Like, part of it just feels kind of stale, you know, and plus the ratings might not be the best right now. So a shakeup like this might just be what Sentai needs to get some of those views up. Now, continuing down the list, there's more info for the other 4 Rangers, and it looks like the rest of them are in fact going to be robots, as the name Kekai Sentai implies. And their designs sound like they're going to be based off of past Sentai mechs, because here it says that, okay, so they in fact do have a Red Ranger, and he's going to be based on Daijujin, but still, it doesn't sound like he's going to be the leader, so that's still pretty cool. And yellow is going to be based on Gao King from Gao Ranger, pink will be Maji King from Maji Ranger, and blue is going to be Dai Boken from Bokenger. And then the Rangers have faces that look like these robots. They can also grow into giant robot forms. So that kind of sounds like, you know, Maji Ranger / Mystic Force, to where the Rangers just like grow into their Zord forms, or the Mystic Titans, if you please. And then it says, while not confirmed, there is a chance that the other Rangers besides Zen Kaiser are not human at all, and will sort of be like Buddy Roids or Imagine. Again, they are part they are not sure about. Echoing earlier hints and things that were leaked to me in confidence. Excuse me, this is coming from Reddit, but this apparently originally came from Dukemon on Ranger Board, so totally forgot to mention his name at the beginning, so forgive me. But this in fact came from Dukemon on Ranger Board. But it says that this is a chance that these were leaked to him in confidence, that the other 4 Rangers can combine into Kamen Rider double like Gatai formations. The 5-inch poster references Gao Geiger's Choryujin. So for those of you that don't know, Gao Geiger is this anime series part of this overall franchise called the Brave series, and I believe it's the last one. So continuing, each mecha has 2 modes. Red transforms from a Tyrannosaurus into a Daijujin-like robot. Yellow transforms from a lion into a Gao King-like robot. The 2 then combine to form a Choryujin-like Gatai robot. Each mecha has 2 modes. Pink transforms from a dragon into a Maji King-like robot. That makes sense. Blue transforms from a dump truck into a Daiboken-like robot. Okay, so it's like keeping a common theme between like some of the animals like that were showcased in those series, and then like the main robot that they combine with. Then the 2 combine to form I think I just said that, sorry. Kaiser is the only one who seems to have an SH figure. So would that mean Sentai figure arts are back? Who knows? And then lastly, it says here, the red and yellow combo is called Zenkaiger Zu Lagaron. Sorry if I botched that name. The pink and blue combo was called Zenkaiger Budu Majin. And I'm not quite sure if this is the Reddit poster or the person from Ranger Board Dukemon, but it says here, well, for those that were waiting for a Sentai without a red as the leader, you seem to be getting your wish. My sentiments exactly. Like, that would be such a major change that we honestly haven't kind of seen since Time Ranger, I could say. Honestly. So that pretty much wraps it up for Sentai this week, but it sounds like Zenkaiger is just going to be on a whole nother level of different. So now going into Ultraman, this is from Tendo on Facebook. And we have our first look at the SH Figure Arts Juggler's Juggler figure. I can never say that with a straight face. But he's getting his own figure art, and they have him labeled as being from Ultraman Z, but for those of you that actually know the character, he started off in Orb. So I'm not sure why they didn't mention that here, but it's no big deal. So he's seen here with his signature sword weapon, and then also he has, I forgot if it was called the Zenkaiger, but like it's his own version of the Zenkaiger as another accessory. And then in other shots here, we see him with his swappable hands. He has a pointer hand, closed fists, loose fingers. And then also we see this really cool shot of him with his sword where it's on fire and he's surrounded by this circular ring of fire. So once again, I'm not really a figure art collector because they're really expensive for what they are, and it's not really worth it at the end of the day. But this is still cool for those of you that want to get this. So next up we have a commercial from Shop Factory showcasing the new Ultraman series they have on their streaming platform for the return of Ultraman, Ultraman Orb Origin Saga, and also Ultra Fight Galaxy. Now I've definitely got to watch Orb Origin Saga because I've already watched Orb proper, so it just makes sense for me to watch the origin story, right? Now I've yet to check out Ultra Galaxy Fight, but they're saying that this one's directed by the legendary Koichi Sakamoto. So, like, that's definitely worth checking out, just, like, for the choreography alone, because, like, he is just, like, an absolute master at that. And plus, I think there's another installment of Ultra Galaxy Fight airing right now on their YouTube page alongside Zet, so definitely want to check both of those out, too. Now going into extra news, we're kind of going back into sad territory here, and this is from jfusion.com, and this is on Seiyun Kamen Machine Man star Osamu Sakuda has passed away. So Machine Man is more so an obscure series from the 80s that I'm not quite sure if everyone has heard of. Like, I've definitely watched clips from it before, so I'm familiar with it at least. But the article reads, it was reported that Japanese actor Osamu Sakuda, who portrayed the role of the titular role of Seiyun Kamen Machine Man, has passed away at the age of 62. The news was announced by his good friend, legendary metal hero Hiroshi Watari, in his official Facebook page. Information regarding the cause of his untimely death is still unknown. I think they meant cause, but it's still unknown as of this moment, but we still will be updating it as soon as we get the source. We are extending our prayers and condolences to his family, to all of us here at J Fusion, and the whole Tokusatsu community who grew up watching your superhero show. Rest in peace, and thank you very much for your legacy that you have left us. Jeez, man, like, 2020's been a real roller coaster. Okay, so moving on from that, we have... I'm going to kind of condense this into one piece because this kind of like flows together. But we have some more information regarding the SSSS Dino Xenon anime. And this is going to be the sequel to the SSSS Gridman anime that came out a couple of years ago. And speaking of which, the English dub for Gridman is actually going to be airing on Adult Swim next month. So I definitely look forward to that and hoping that Dino Xenon airs on there too. But right now we have a first look at the trailer here. It doesn't really showcase the robot all that much, but that's where I want to say, I'm not sure if this is like a live show or some kind of like press conference event, but here we see like an actual like live action look at the suit here. And like this looks really cool, by the way, because I've seen some people on Facebook kind of compare this to Lupin Kaiser from Lupin vs. Pat, and they're kind of right. It does resemble that, like just a little bit. And then from Gunpla Nerd on Facebook, we see a look at the Good Smile Company DX or Deluxe SSSS Dino Xenon. So it looks like this is going to be the official toy for the show. And honestly, I think it kind of resembles Thunder Gridman from the original Gridman series in the 90s. So it's probably trying to pay homage to that. And plus, I've kind of noticed that it has the little dragon head on top as well. So it looks like the dragon mech from the original Gridman show as well, if I'm comparing the two. And the price comes out to be about 20,000 yen. So that's going to be about $200 US dollars. So if you're willing to fork over the cash for that kind of thing, or probably just like wait for some kind of discount. I mean, I definitely want to see if I can try and get it, but I honestly might try and wait for a discount. But that's going to just about wrap it up. So as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to like my Facebook page at Me with Tokusatsu. We are also on Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. And this is your captain, signing out.